Welcome to the deep dive. So today we're taking a closer look at inheritance, but not just the stuff we usually think of, like heirlooms or property.
Right. It's often deeper, isn't it? Circumstances, challenges that stick around.
Exactly. And sometimes, maybe even the potential for change. Our mission today is to really unpack this powerful story. It's generational, about one family breaking free from, well, cycles of poverty and insecurity.
Yeah, it's quite a story. Not just survival, but real transformation.
Okay, let's get into it. So it all starts with Alara. She's the grandmother figure here. And she remembered this time, vividly described it actually, when the river just shrank away, barely there, and conflict was just part of life. She talked about inheriting the dust. That was her phrase for it. A really harsh reality shaped by what the sources we looked at called the conflict insecurity spiral.
Yeah, that's where instability and violence just chip away at everything. Safety, resources, it creates this awful ripple effect.
And tied into that was the poverty health trap.
Right. That's that terrible loop. Being sick means you can't work, which makes you poorer, which means you can't afford health care, so you stay sick or get sicker.
And for Alara, this wasn't abstract. She felt it. An ache in her bones, she said. Sickness keeping her from the fields. It was physical.
Absolutely. It's how these big challenges become, well, a tangible burden, something passed down. That visceral inheritance of dust.
Right.
It really paints a picture.
It sounds almost inescapable, right? But then we get to Lena, Alara's daughter. She saw things slightly differently, maybe saw a potential way out. And this is where some outside help made a difference, even if just a bit. A foreign aid group came in. They set up what our sources term a social safety net.
Okay. And what did that involve?
Basically a clinic and a food program.
Yeah.
Things like getting maize for doing some work. It was a lifeline, it seems, a break from that constant hunger.
That immediate relief is so critical you can't overstate it. But, connecting it to the bigger picture, aid like that, while essential for survival right then, often isn't the long-term fix for these deep cycles.
Yeah, and Lena seemed to understand that. She saw this other trap looming for her own kids, the poverty education trap.
Exactly. The fear that without real change, her kids would just follow the same path. Limited education leading to limited options. It really raises the question, doesn't it?
Yeah.
How do you actually break the cycle, especially if that safety net, helpful as it is, doesn't offer a clear path out for the next generation?
Right. And Lena's answer was pretty radical for her situation. Sacrificed everything for her child's education. That was her gamble. Then things took another hard turn, a real blow. The climate.
Climate change enters the story.
Yeah, it hit hard. Droughts, soaring temperatures, agricultural output just plummeted. Food prices shot up. That old hunger, those fears of conflict, they started creeping back.
A familiar pattern, unfortunately.
But here's the twist. The narrator, Lena's child, the one who got the education, they came back from the city. Not with cash, but with knowledge.
Okay, what kind of knowledge?
Practical stuff. Drought-resistant sorghum seeds. Plans for drip irrigation. Copied straight from a textbook. Turning learning into action.
Now that is a crucial pivot point. Education becoming a direct response, a counterattack almost, on those very systems.
Exactly.
They used what they knew about nutrition, started a community garden. That demonstrates perfectly how education leads to health and nutrition. It wasn't just about calories anymore. It was about actual nourishment.
And that had a knock-on effect, right?
Absolutely. It kickstarted the health productivity cycle. You see it time and again. A healthier community is just more productive, more energy for work, for learning, for finding new solutions. A real win against the dust.
So fast forward 10 years. What's the result? The village looks different. It is different.
Tell me more.
The narrator, they didn't stop at the garden. They used their education to help form a farmers' cooperative. That directly tackled employment and wages.
How so?
By getting fair prices, ensuring a steadier income for everyone involved, it's really turning that old, vicious poverty education trap on its head.
Creating a virtuous cycle instead.
Precisely. An education-employment cycle.
Yeah.
Learning leads to better work, leads to stability. And for the next generation, little Alara, her inheritance isn't dust. It's the dark, fertile soil of that community garden.
That's a powerful image. It really shows how individual knowledge, when it sparks community action, can fundamentally shift these really deep-rooted generational problems. It's moving way beyond just getting by.
Towards resilience.
Yeah, building genuine, self-sustaining resilience. It changes the whole community's trajectory.
So this deep dive really leaves us thinking, doesn't it? It leaves you thinking, in your own life, What kind of dust might you be dealing with, inheriting, or maybe even passing on? And more importantly, what knowledge, what action could you cultivate right now to aim for a different kind of harvest down the line?